Welcome once again to my channel. My name is Msimen Tarex, and basically today we want to discuss the most important question in legal methods, particularly in the topic called the legal profession. So the question is how to become an advocate. How does actually one becomes an advocate? What's the procedure that one must take to become an advocate? And what's the difference between an advocate and a lawyer? And how are they similar? That is basically what we want to understand in this tutorial session. Okay, so let's delve into the procedure of one becoming an advocate. And we want to move step by step such that we understand uh, the procedure basically. And before I move into the procedure, we need to know that the entire procedure is governed by the Advocates Act and the Advocates Enrollment and Certification regulations. Those are the laws that govern the procedure of one becoming an advocate. The first step is enrollment into law school, or joining law school, or joining an institution that teaches law. You need to know that in Uganda, for a university, for an institution to teach law, it must be accredited. It must be accredited by the Law Council. And once an institution has been accredited to teach law, and any person that joins that law school to study law, to study particularly bachelor's, a degree in law, you've taken on the first step into becoming an advocate. Enroll, study for 4 years, and after 4 years, you will have actually finished your first step. Make sure you pass a degree, you get a better degree of law. That will be, it will actually mark your first step. Those institutions or those universities are provided for under the Universities and Tertiary Institutions Act. Okay, so that's the first step. Get your recognized degree that will actually usher you into another level. Okay, stage number two is undertaking a diploma in legal practice from Road Development Center. Okay, that is your second step. You have to apply to LDC or to the Road Development Center and be admitted. After being admitted, then you study the period specified for that diploma. You finish it, you pass it. There, I actually forgot to mention that after 4 years of degree of university, you are only a lawyer, but you are not yet an advocate. Okay? So even after a diploma in legal practice from Broad Development Center, you're not a lawyer, you're not an advocate, but you're simply a lawyer. Therefore, you cannot represent a client in court. You cannot appear before court for specific things that are meant for advocates. Okay, so what you have to do now is moving extra mile and apply to the Law Council and obtain a certificate of eligibility. And on the application for the certificate of eligibility, there are specific things that you must take into consideration. Number one, you must ensure that you're a person of good moral conduct. It means you must not have any criminal proceedings pending against you. Okay? On the application to the Law Council, you must attach your previous academic documents. Particularly, we prefer you attaching that one of bachelor's from the university, any university that you attended, be it Makerere, be it UCU, be it BSU, be it KIU. Mention, your university. So you must attach that transcript. You must also attach the transcript from Road Development Center that you acquired when you sat for a diploma in legal practice, okay, from LDC. Then you must also attach two recommendations from two, two advocates who have been on the role of advocates for the last 3 years. You must attach that application, that the two recommendations. The purpose of those recommendations is to actually affirm that you indeed a person of good moral conduct, you have attended law school. There is that information they provide. They recommend that please this person should be given a certificate of eligibility. Okay. After making your application, the application will be gazetted. The purpose of gazetting is to ensure that the public is aware. It is actually to inform the public that person so and so has applied for, he intends to become an advocate. He has applied for certificate of eligibility. So therefore, if you have any issue against this person, bring that claim. If you have maybe you think or you know that this person did not, let's say, go to law school, or this person didn't pass LDC, or this person has any pending criminal proceedings against him, mention it, or make a claim against the application. Okay, that's the purpose of gazetting that application. Then, after, in case no one brings a claim against the application after what, similarly 21 days of gazette, then uh, the secretary, the law council, will notify the applicant of the date to come and appear before him, to be particularly to be told of the decision of the law council. What has the law council, what did the law council decide? Because there must be a meeting to decide on who should, during the scrutiny, during the process of scrutinizing your application. Okay, because you must be many applicants. So during the process of scrutinizing, then there is a resolution that comes up. And here, the secretary to the law council will invite you that please come and be notified. The applicant will appear before him or her and be told of the decision. If the decision is positive, then they will tell you the law council accepted to give you the certificate of eligibility. The certificate of eligibility will be issued to the applicant, and then now you know you have a certificate of eligibility, but you're not yet an advocate. The law council is trying to say that this person is eligible to be an advocate. This person is actually able, okay? You're able, but you're not yet an advocate. Then that application, that certificate now will lead you into another step. Another step being petitioning the Chief Justice, that you pray to him that may your name be put on the roll of advocates. Okay? The petition to the Chief Justice must also be accompanied by particular things that you need to understand from the onset. Number one, you must attach the certificate of eligibility that you obtained from the law council. You must attach academic documents, the previous academic documents, postgraduate, the diploma in practice, a bachelor's degree, transcript, you must attach them. You must attach two recommendations from advocates who have been on the roll for 3 years, for the past 3 years. It may be 10 years, but should not be lesser than 3 years. That is very, very important for you, for us to actually appreciate. Then you need to also know that you must also be a person of good moral conduct. You must attach a certificate of good moral conduct to show that actually, that as I earlier mentioned, you're trying to show them you do not have any criminal proceeding against you. What? Okay. The petition is submitted to the Chief Justice. Of course, it must also be gazetted. The purpose of gazetting, as I earlier mentioned, is to notify the public that this person so and so intends to be, is actually asking to be enrolled as an advocate. Okay? After gazetting, 21 days, then you will be notified, the applicant will be notified to appear before the registrar or to appear directly before the Chief Justice to determine, no, to be notified of the decision of the Chief Justice. If you do not qualify or if you qualify, however much you have a certificate of eligibility, but if you have errors, or to go back and correct them like that, that's the purpose of notifying you. If you had no errors in your petition or nothing is instituted against your petition from the Gazette, then you of course you pray now, you pray to the Chief Justice that may your name be put on the roll of advocates. Okay? Then there is a big book where all advocates in Uganda write, append their signatures. So you must also append your signature. That's what we call the roll or the roll of advocates. So you append your signature and you're issued with a certificate of enrollment. The petition that we are mentioning is more of an application. You're applying for a certificate of enrollment. Okay? You're applying that may you be issued with a certificate of enrollment. That is very, very important for you to understand. Then, of course, now your name is in the roll of advocates. You're true, you're indeed an advocate, but you cannot appear before court because you do not have a practicing certificate. So that means you must again apply for practicing certificate. That is very important for us to understand. You must again now, after acquiring eligibility, enrollment, then you must also get practicing certificate. The procedure also is provided for under the Advocates Act and the Advocates Enrollment and Certification and Regulations. Okay, so make an application to the Law Council seeking for the practicing certificate. Upon issuance, if it is issued to you, you only apply because you're now an advocate and you have a practicing certificate. You can actually appear before court, but you can only appear before the magistrate's court within the first 9 months. The first 9 months, you can only appear before the magistrate's courts, not above. After 9 months, there is what we call renewal of practicing certificate. You renew your practicing certificate still through the Law Council. You apply for renewal. Okay? You must make an application for renewal. After renewing your certificate, then you are now allowed to appear in all courts of judicature, in all courts of record, High Court, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court. That's how one becomes an advocate and actually goes on and practices in courts of law or represents clients in courts of law. Okay? So, as I earlier mentioned, please take note, the entire procedure is provided for under Advocates Act and the Advocates Enrollment and Certification Regulations, particularly from Regulation 3 up to Regulation 12 and 13 of Advocates Certification and Enrollment and Certification Regulations. Take time, read through, so that you get more. They will give you more highlight of this procedure. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for watching. Taking your time and watching is very invaluable to me and to you. And of course, I want to encourage you to subscribe and share with friends and comment where you find it necessary. Thank you. God bless you.